Judy or Leah asked about the thermometer, and now I'm wondering if the baby may have a fever. So, of course, I can't do nothing. I'm 700 miles away. So now I'm worried. But you know how that goes.
Yeah, I know.
Us grandmas worry about our grandkids a lot.
No grandchildren, thank God.
Well, it's the first time he's been sick.
Oh yeah, that's always.
And I'm not there, so
Yeah, that's always touch and go. Yeah.
So it's hard. So
yeah.
Oh no, he's fine. She's the one that feels sick. So
Oh,
I
okay.
with that.
Okay, you're good.
She's an adult. She can figure it out.
Yeah, she can figure it out. There you go.
Put that picture on your website there.
Oh. So, she put what did you do?
Yeah, it's underneath her the advertisement on your Pride.
He posted it in the event, the picture of the missing dog of Wally.
Oh, good. Okay.
So it's out there. So we're just so everybody knows, we're going to have a break again at 20 past. So don't go away. But we're going to talk for a little bit more time. I just don't want to get too far deep into a story and then go, June, I got to stop you. So I want to keep that out there, guys, that we're going to take a break at 20 after. When you do all your work, do you have a day job?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you have a day job that interferes with your demon seeing.
Yeah, I'm a nurse. I work full time.
So you totally understand all the stuff that's going on in the real world. So you're doing real world stuff all the time, yeah. not this other stuff that most of us look at as fun.
Well,
or hobby. It's not a hobby to you.
No, as far as the demon removal is, it's like, if I got paid for every removal I did, I'd probably be rich. I could quit my day job, but it's God's work. And so I never charge for it. If people want to make a donation, that's fine. But, it's God's work, so you just do it.
I commend you for that. I mean, for being a nurse, that's got to be hard, because I would assume that sometimes in your job, your day job, demons come out.
Usually, it used to be when I was working hospital work. Yeah, I don't work hospital work anymore. I work in a private clinic because I got tired of that.
Oh,
people would get confused, and they'd die and leave their body, and they weren't sure which way to go. And here I am, and I have to do everything telepathically, because if you sit there talking to them, people are going to go like, "What?"
Yeah, they're going to be putting you in Pennhurst.
Yeah. So everything is done telepathically. So it's just, you have to find a quiet place and say, follow me, we'll go talk.
Believe me, I totally understand. And then
I spent 5 years in the military, and that's where I got my training. And it was very hard in there. I couldn't use my abilities in there. I could use them when I was off duty, but nothing else. And I work in hospital work. There's people dying and stuff, and so you can't really say anything or do anything.
Yeah, I know there's been times I've been places where you just don't tell people that you're seeing spirits there.
Right.
Because it's not appropriate.
No.
Or you're afraid it's going to scare them.
Yeah. So, I have a godfather who told me, when he found out I was going to the military, I was going to be at a SAC base, Strategic Air Command. He says,
yeah, I know what that is.
He said, do not tell them about your abilities. He says, he worked for the OSI. He says, I've been privileged to see their work using remote viewing and mediums and stuff. He said, don't tell them anything.
And with that, we're going to have to take a break. So everybody got a 3-minute break here. go get a drink, go to the bathroom, do whatever you got to do, but just come back to WBHM Digital Broadcasting out of Birmingham, Alabama, and we'll get to talking some more with June Lundgren here in about 3 minutes.
You are listening to WPHM Digital Broadcasting, the best in paranormal talk radio.
Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the Paranormal Pride. I'm your host, Denise Pridemore, and I'm talking to June Lundgren. And if you haven't been listening and you're just tuning in, well, you missed out, and you're going to have to check out the archive, because this has been really interesting for all of us, especially with the change in venue tonight for me, and being on. This is the first time I've done this when I've been on a trip. Usually when I take vacation, I don't do a show. So I'm doing this more remote than I've ever done. And I'm having all kinds of family things happening at my own house and stuff too. So it's just, my mind is everywhere. So June, we were talking about your day job and things that, why you changed jobs a little bit, why you're no longer doing hospital stuff. Like I said, I understand that. You started talking about your being on a SAC base. Just to give you a little background, I met my husband on a SAC base. We were at Blyville.
I was stuck at Fairchild Air Force Base in Spokane, Washington.
Yeah, Ron's shaking his head.
You could
went there
throw a rock from one side of the base to the other.
Blyville was bigger than that, but yeah, it was in Arkansas, and that's where I met my husband.
I was stationed there when the mountain blew, when Mount St. Helens blew, and they had to get all the birds out of there because the ash was coming towards us. So.
I remember that. I will not tell you how old I was. But I lived in Maryland at the time, so it didn't really affect me. But I remember a lot about that time. I had a boyfriend who went out there to visit family, and he sent me back a letter with ash in it.
Yeah.
Well, because it was a big deal back then. I mean, Mount St. Helens. Yeah, well, Mount St. Helens was a huge deal. It was kind of like our, it was just huge to hear about that. I mean, it was on the news every night.
Yeah. The Mountain Blue, the ash got there about 3:00 in the afternoon. And one of the civilian nurses called and said, "I'm sorry I'm late," because it's dark because of the ash. And I said, "No, you're not late." I said, "You got another couple hours." I said, "The Mountain Blue." So you're like, I lived off base. So here I'm in white uniform, trying to get home, driving my car, and you have to put toilet paper around the breather so it can actually, not get all clogged. The engine don't get all clogged up. It was not fun. Then I had a flat tire on the way. So I'm like, oh, good. This is good.
Oh, yeah. And you can't breathe.
No.
It was, like I said, I know enough about it to be dangerous, just historically speaking, because, well, it was a big deal. Let's see. Had to be 1977, 78,
Yeah.
79.
I got up the air base in 78, so it was 79.
Yep. Like I said, I had to think about how old I was, so.
I was 20, 21.
So, like I said, I remember a lot about it. I was just thinking I was younger than I was, but apparently I was older.
Yeah,
So.
I flew over it while it was still smoking, so it's like, okay. Yeah.
Carl said he was driving a semi when it blew.
Yeah.
And he was driving by. So.
Yeah, you get that stuff in the breather and it'll just clog up your engine.
And he asked a question as well. He says, do demons control the other spirits at a location? And,
they can.
Okay. And
Demons can trap ghosts. If someone dies, I had an instance of that happening. I was called into Battleground, Washington, where a man and his wife had moved into their home 2 years prior. The woman had never had a sick day in her life. And from the minute they moved in there, she started getting sick. And she died of terminal cancer less than 2 years later. And it's like the demon kept her there. So her soul was still kept there because these demons can hold on to them and use their energy and just keep them from ascending into the light. And that's what this nasty one did. It was one of those that, people will tell you, oh, there are places where people should never live. The ground is cursed. Bad things happen. And so I'd always been interested in finding out what was going on in places like that. Well, this was one of those locations. But this demon was when I went with my first group, Northwest Paranormal. And my friend, Aaron, he's a minister, and him and his wife came with me. And we're going up the stairs because I know where the demon is. It's upstairs. So we're headed up there. It tries to push his wife down the stairs. And then it grabs a hold of his heart and starts squeezing it. He thought he was having a heart attack. So I had to stop it from doing that. And we get up there and we get it captured between Gabe and Michael. I told him, I said, I want to know why you're entombed in the ground here. I don't understand. Why are you entombed in the earth? And Michael made it tell me that it had gone against Lucifer. And so Lucifer got mad and entombed it in the ground. And so, all bad things happen because it was entombed there. People think, oh, if it's entombed there, its influence is just, captured in there and it can't hurt you. That's wrong. They may be entombed in there, but their influence is far reaching. But when man started to build houses there, then it opened the tomb, but it knew better than to try to go back into the dark because Lucifer would be looking for him. So it stayed there and wreaked havoc. So I took it out and I let his wife go. It was a place that had like the perfect